What is up, Sooner Nation? I am Casey Mallon, and you are now, come on, in a Sooner state of mind. Make sure you like and subscribe on Apple Podcast and Spotify. BetOnline is your number one source for all your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL playoffs. All the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet online, where the game starts. Got a good one today, people. On today's show, we wrap up March Madness. We preview the Oklahoma spring game, check in with 2025 recruiting, a little UFL, and the wait for Oklahoma football just got a little bit shorter, a little bit. Not quite water, but poppy. I'm kind of obsessed with these things. If you'd like to talk about a sponsorship, we're all ears on Sooner State of Mind. Speaking of Sooner State of Mind family, how we doing? Did you check out the eclipse? I did. Not only did I have the special glasses, but I broke out the old poke a hole in the paper with the pencil trick and let the shadow project on the ground below. Do you guys remember that? Learn that as kids. Still works. Pretty good stuff. March Madness is come and gone, and UConn wins it all again. Very impressive considering the transactional state of college hoops. With all the one and done, the transfer portal, the days of building a dynasty are long gone, which makes what Dan Hurley and the Huskies did even more impressive. Hurley's Huskies halted Zach Edey and the Purdue Boilermakers 75-60. The Huskies won their 12th consecutive NCAA tournament game by double digits. Sickness. UConn became the first team in 17 years to win back-to-back national championships. More sickness. And only the third team since the tournament expanded from 32 to 64 4 decades ago. Congratulations, man. That is pretty outstanding stuff. Now, speaking of impressive, how was your bracket? Did you cash? Did you make it to the end? Not to toot my own horn, beep, beep, but I lost a bunch of my teams heading into the Sweet 16. Even so, I bounced back to finish 62 out of 400. Not bad. The winner of the pool I was in finished at 45-18. I was at 40-21, nailing the final game with UConn over Purdue. I just needed a couple more winners. Don't we all? Don't we all just need a couple more winners? Didn't get them, though, but there's always next year. And hopefully next year our Sooners get to dance. But with all the departures around the program and the uncertainty of their future for home basketball games, Porter Moser definitely has his hands full. So hopefully he can continue this, keep going in the right direction, and maybe next year we'll do even better. Women's Final Four, the tournament in general was awesome. They drew massive audience numbers, crazy, off the charts, and with good reason. Just some great basketball being played. And got to show some major love to Dawn Staley and her South Carolina Gamecocks, finishing the perfect season 38-0 with the 87-75 victory over Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Not Clark's best game to finish one of the most prolific college careers ever. She did have 30 points, but on 10 of 28 shooting. But she would have had to have elevated her game to another stratosphere to beat Staley's Gamecocks. That was a squad. Nonetheless, just a great season for South Carolina, for Caitlin Clark and women's hoops in general. Pretty good stuff. Now let's move it on to some football. Stoke levels are rising as we are unbelievably just over a week away from the OU spring game. It's here, baby. Saturday, April 20th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We get to see our Oklahoma Sooners take the field. Sooner State of Mind family. What are you most looking forward to seeing next week? It's a couple different things for me. But at the very top of that list, number one on that list, JFA. Jackson Arnold, that's right. We got a little taste last year in the second half of the BYU game. And then we got a bigger taste in the Alamo Bowl versus Arizona. Obviously, some mixed results in the bowl game, but there was a lot there to be excited about. We got to see the arm strength and the athleticism, plenty of both. Now, while getting to sit behind DG and learn for a year absolutely was the best thing for Arnold, we also know how hard that was for him to not be the guy last year and not getting to play much meaningful football. So to say that dude is ready to light it up this year would be an understatement. In an interview with OU Insider, Arnold said the biggest change was his focus on leadership. I think for me, it was more of me being vocal and speaking out to these guys and kind of showing that I am going to be their quarterback. I am going to be their guy. They've got to trust on me and lean on me this spring, Arnold said. And it was more the off-season workouts and stuff is kind of establishing that voice. And not only that, but just showing them how I play on the field too, to get those guys to trust me and connect with me. The main focus for Arnold on the field has been making quicker decisions, which he's been working with Luttrell to improve on. Just not holding the ball too long, Arnold said about his main focus, just being quicker with my decision process. The same thing Coach Luttrell has been challenging me with this offseason, just making my decisions, my decision-making, the whole process a lot faster, just speeding things up. Arnold also said, I think for me to step into the leadership role, I had to admit my mistakes and where I went wrong to further connect with the dudes on the team and kind of tell these guys, hey, I messed up. But going forward, this year's over. That was 2023. It's 2024 now. It's time to go. We're going to the SEC, collectively pushing that game behind us and growing together as a team has been huge. Love what I'm hearing out of this guy. That's more mature than his years. I mean, this cat's coming into his second year and he's already got that mindset, taking responsibility, taking accountability, wanting to show the guys through his actions that he is the man to lead this program. Just great stuff coming out of there. And I know dude is working hard to make sure everything he wants to happen will happen. It's all going to be on his shoulders. He's going to have lots of help, but the season will ride with how Jackson Arnold is able to perform. And he wants the challenge. And that's all you want out of your leader, someone to take on those challenges and accept the fate, good or bad. Completely stoked for this guy. Also, this will be our first opportunity to get a look at JFA driving the new Seth Luttrell offense. The bowl game, for the most part, was still a version of Jeff Lebby's offense. So while on Saturday it will probably be a mostly vanilla version of the new offense, I still feel like it will look a little different. And I cannot wait for that. Now, for some of the personnel they've brought in, it looks like they are going to lean on the tight end position a lot more this year. And if the early murmurs coming out of camp in regards to Bauer Sharp are true, we're going to be pretty stoked with that dude. And the Young Bucks finally getting healthy, specifically Caden Helms, Cade McIntyre, Devon Mitchell, Jake Roberts, and others. That group is going to play a huge role in the new offensive scheme. Some will be weapons in the pass game, and hopefully they're all weapons in the run game. Stock tried to hold it down as best he could last year. There wasn't a lot of help behind him, but there are definitely reinforcements on this 2024 team. It is going to be good. Now, speaking of that run game, the 2024 running back room looks to be the deepest it's been for the Sooners in quite some time. A healthy Gavin Sawchuk and Javonte Barnes and a beefed up Caleb Hicks. Hicks is another player everyone is raving about. Throw in Xavier Robinson, transfer Sam Franklin. Oh, and the number one running back in the 2024 class, Taylor Tatum. Stoke levels are rising, people. I got a tickle in my dangus. And there's even more, more depth coming. Coach DeMarco Murray continuing to out-recruit and stock up on massive talent. This running back room looks to be in great shape. We're going to get to see it in just a week. Another player I am stoked to finally see on the field is Dion Burks. The buzz around this guy is just continuing to build and grow. And if what we see is anything close to what we're hearing, the Sooners got a massive get with this dude. I'm going to find out on Saturday. Completely stoked. He's saying all the right things. He's doing the right things. Some of the social media that's coming out through the department is great, great stuff. This guy is fast, great route runner. He's going to be a tremendous asset, not only to JFA, but the complete offense. Another dude getting all kinds of buzz is freshman quarterback Michael Hawkins Jr. The feeling around the program is the Sooners got another very special quarterback waiting in the wings. I am really looking forward to watching Hawkins next week too. And so is BV. BV completely stoked with the quarterback room. Last week he was quoted, "The whole position is doing really good," Venables said. Brendan Zoidberg, hooray, has gotten lots of reps too. But between Jackson, Mike, Brendan, and Booty, Casey's taking every mental rep. He's right there next to me when we've got the team settings. I feel great. We're in the best position that we've been in since we've been here. Yes. Stock in that room, creating competition, bringing in the next guy. Kevin Sperry's coming in next year too. I mean, it is loaded. Oh, good stuff, people. I mean, could we be more stoked? The answer is no. And Saturday, we should probably get a look, at least a quick look at most of those guys. But I just want to see Arnold out there, and I want to see Hawk do his thing too. Unfortunately, a little killing of the buzz surrounding all the feel-good of spring ball is the injury to projected starting center Troy Everett. Everett was hurt during practice on March 28th. And the surgery is expected to keep Everett out for the rest of spring, but Venables said he hoped to see him back by the end of fall camp. I hope that's the real timeline and not just the BV optimist timeline. Either way, it does create opportunity for Joshua Bates and some of those other guys. So hopefully a speedy recovery, and hopefully these guys get some good, meaningful reps until Everett gets back. Did I mention the Poppy? Oh, yeah, Poppy. Now, that offense was already going to have their hands full before the injury to Everett. Now things just got even more difficult, but I am not mad about it. That Sooner defense will be on full display at the spring game. And their plan is to dominate. The defense returned most of their heavy producers from last season, and almost every player that was eligible to return did return. From top to bottom, just a ton of experienced players and leadership at all three levels, plus a bunch of young guys chomping at the bit to get in there too. The new infusion of youth and established leaders on this team's got me completely stoked. Like I said, you mix in some of these upstart young bloods, and I think this defense has the opportunity or the chance to be something very special. Venables told Sooners Wire, overall, we do have another year in the system. I just look at it, all of the systems, and I think it's important, starting with the excitement that you need to have, the passion that you need to have, the focus, intensity that you need to have, whether you are in segment meetings, team meetings, or come to the practice field, whether it's a walkthrough or a 2-minute drill to win the game. All of it should have the same level of passion, intensity, and focus. Having a group of guys that are obsessed with the physical toughness, that are obsessed with developing our team, that are obsessed with the details, obsessed with having the right mindset every single day. That's what BV preaches, and we're starting to see it, and it will be on full display this season. I know it's going to be. I love what this dude is doing. Venables mentioned the linebacker and cornerback rooms as two groups he feels are in the best shape since he's gotten there. Lots of depth there. Both positions are full, and has many wondering how are they going to figure out who to play. That, my friends, that is a great problem to have, and I am fired up. When the next man up, is just as good or slightly behind the starters, getting that competition, getting that hunger, getting everybody wanting that starting role. And it's coming in waves, baby. There are a lot of great players on this team at every position. Now, I'm not sure how BV will set up the scoring for the spring game. There's been an opportunity in the past couple of years for defense to get points too. So I think defense will get rewarded for making plays. And that will keep this thing tight. I think the offense is going to struggle. I think the defense is going to come out lights out. But we'll find out on Saturday. And I cannot wait to see that defense flying around. I cannot wait to get a first look at David Stone. I cannot wait to get a first look at Jaden Jackson. The beef up front, we haven't had this in a long time. Mix these young bloods in with the seasoned vets up there. It's gonna be a situation, and teams are gonna have to deal with it. Now, speaking of that defense, the early word on Zach Alley is he's having a tremendous impact on this defense. Alley is already being called a rising star in the coaching world. Not only that, this dude is Venables' guy. BV completely trusts Alley, giving him a lot of room to do his thing, leaving BV with more time just to be the head coach, to put his presence in all the areas, not just focus on the defense. He trusts dude to run it, and that is going to pay dividends. Alley is young and energetic, and the players absolutely love him. I have high expectations for the defense, so keep packing the stoke, all right? Coming up on year 3 of the Brent Venables era, the entire roster has been overhauled. They gave all the old players a chance to stay. Whoever wanted to buy in had an opportunity. Those that didn't want to buy in, adios. The entire roster has been overhauled. The recruiting has continued to be some of the best in the country. And the hits just keep on coming. Did we say recruiting? Yeah. 4-star safety Marcus Wimberly made a surprise commitment to the Sooners. 6'1", 183 pounds, ranked as the number 9 safety in the class according to Rivals. Not too shabby. Can't have too much competition. More secondary help. 4-star cornerback Malik Hawkins also committed to the Sooners. He's 6'2", 185. That is a big dude. He chose the Sooners over Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Texas. The name sounds familiar. He is the younger brother of Oklahoma freshman quarterback Michael Hawkins. Brotherly love, baby. Let's get it going. It is all fam all the time with these Sooners. More? Yeah, there is more. Sooners got another huge commitment, 4-star defensive lineman Trent Wilson, ranked the number 9 defensive lineman nationally by On3. Also a consensus top 10 player in the state of Maryland, 6'3", 260. Wilson chose OU over Penn State, Ohio State, Maryland, and more. Wait till this cat messes with Schmitty for a year. He's the Sooners' 13th commit from the class of 2025 and the second defensive lineman in the class. That's a lot of defense. What about the offense, you say? What about the O? Well, it looks like Coach Murray struck gold yet again. The Sooners get a commitment from 4-star running back Tory Blaylock. The 5'10.5", 195-pound tailback is incredibly fast. Yeah, incredibly fast. And a tremendous athlete. Just recently ran a 10.6 200-meter dash at a track meet in Texas. That is flying. Blaylock brings the home run threat. Just another jewel in the crown for Coach DeMarco Murray. Blaylock chose OU over Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Texas, among others. Sorry, Shorthorns. BV is not only building a team, he's building a culture. He blew that thing to the ground and is building it back up. A strong foundation is where it starts. And he's not only building a team, it's the culture. And the ramifications of doing things the right way will continue to reverberate as a signal, a beacon, a sign to the players and coaches that want to be part of a program like this, a blue blood program. And those reverberations will only grow moving forward. I've said it before and I will say it again. BV is building a monster and he's doing it all the right way. We could not be in better hands than we are. And if we needed even more good news, we got it, baby. Word came out this week that the Sooners home opener against the Temple Owls has been moved to Friday night in prime time. The SEC wanted to showcase their newest member. Kickoff for the contest will be at 6 p.m. Central Time, and the game will be televised by ESPN. Joe C. was quoted, "We were asked to consider moving up the season opener by a day so ESPN could televise our first game as a member of the SEC in a primetime window. It's a unique and exciting opportunity for us as it will be our first Friday night game in the history of Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium and will give our team tremendous visibility nationally. Our first ever Friday Night Lights will undoubtedly be one for the books, and we're excited to open the season and our first year in the SEC in such a spectacular fashion," end quote. Joe C's on it, baby. Sooners all time 60, 19, and 2 on Friday games. That's 2 and 4 on bowl games. Let's not play any bowl games on Fridays if we can. But they've only played 5 Friday night games ever, all on the road and all wins. Since WW2, OU's played 16 regular season games, 10 and 6, all 6 losses against Nebraska, Dirty Huskers. We got the last one, though, didn't we? And the last Big 12 championship. So, corn on that, playa. The Sooners' other Friday wins, 1945 in Detroit Rock City. That was Bud Wilkinson's first game as OU's head coach. And the last coming at West Virginia in 2018. And then, of course, the season finale last year against TCU at home. Oklahoma, third season under Coach BV. Sooners have won 18 straight home openers. Now, the Sooners don't officially join the SEC until July 1st, but I must confess, I dig seeing OU in the SEC. Man, this feels like a big deal. On the ESPN page, conference standings are now SEC. the little patch on the jersey, the hype, the anticipation, the newness. This season is going to be something else, and I cannot wait. LFG. Awesome. Are you guys watching any of the UFL? Did you guys know I'm a sicko? Probably. So if you did know that, it will come as no surprise that I've watched every game so far. And why it's not the NFL or the best of college football, it is football. And it definitely scratches this itch from March until August. I mean, the season will go to June, but it's going to get us through the doldrums, get us to Copa America, the Olympics, et cetera, NBA Finals, NHL, all the good stuff. But this spring league is much needed. We got to keep developing these fringe players. We need more quarterbacks. We need offensive linemen. We need the guys, get them where hopefully some of these guys can transition to the NFL. Not all will. Some will cap out here, and that's fine. But the ones that get those reps to improve their game, to make it there, that's what's needed. So that is a good thing for me. Hopefully the NFL gets on board and we really pump this league and put some resources in it and get it to the level that I think that it can get to. Now, it's been a couple of tough weeks for Bob Stoops and his Arlington Renegades. They opened the season with a 27-14 loss to the USFL champion Birmingham Stallions. And then last week, they played much better, but still came up short versus the St. Louis Battlehawks, 27-24. The Renegades found a little offense in that game, but still haven't been able to get the run game going. Just 71 yards on the ground last week. It's not good enough to get it done, but not to worry. They started last season very slowly before rallying to take home the XFL championship. Speaking of championships, the Renegades host the DC Defenders in a rematch of last year's XFL championship game. Let's hope the results are the same. So good luck to Coach Stoops. Big game Bob. Go out there and do your thing, baby. Spring game right around the corner. The following week, the NFL draft. And next week, we'll have a little draft talk after we recap the spring game. Did I mention the spring game is just a week away? I have a question. How stoked are you? If your answer was totally or completely, you're my people. Make sure you like and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so you do not miss any of the good stuff. Also, head on over to Believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Go to shows. Type in Sooner State of Mind. You are locked, people. We have a ton of great content. Every team, every topic, everywhere. Believe.com. If you want to watch Sooner State of Mind, head on over to YouTube and search the Football Dudes. We are there. Like and subscribe. Delivery, people. Then you're just on cruise control. We make it easy for you. We'll do the heavy lifting. All you got to do is bring your ears and an open mind. Sooner State of Mind is brought to you by Bet Online. My name is Casey Mallon, and I am in a Sooner state of mind.